Hello, good people. Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Make America Think Again with Shauna Vaughn or Car Conversations. If you're joining us over here on YouTube, hopefully you are because I'm trying to get everyone over here to the YouTube page. So please continue to share, to like, to comment, to bring folks over to the page so we can all get educated on the same, can get on the same page, but educated and start really thinking about what is happening not only in our country, but in the world. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about today is Turning Point and Erica Kirk. I want to revisit this topic. I have not spoken about her, but I have been keeping my eye on her and what she's been doing with Turning Point. So apparently, she has fully stepped into the shoes in regards to leadership over at Turning Point. And this week she made some very interesting comments regarding Turning Point and their goals and their agenda for 2026 and 2028, these upcoming elections, which I really believe we all need to pay attention to and to have on our radar because it will impact the majority of Americans for a very long period of time if they are able to execute what appears to be the goal. Okay, so she was at some event this past week, and here are some of the announcements she made. So, number one is to keep a hold on Congress. Okay, to make sure in 2026 that the felon still has control over the House and the Senate. That's the number one goal that she laid out. Number two goal that she laid out was to get J.D. Vance elected in 2028. Now you're like, okay, that's common sense. What's the big eyebrow raiser here for you? Here's part of how they plan on doing it. So I don't know if you've gotten wind of this yet or not. If you are in my former state or my home state of Texas, well, one of my home states of Texas, you might be aware, and a few other states in the South, about Turning Point putting chapters on campuses. And I spoke about this just last week in one of the episodes. So what Erica Kirk said on the stage this past week was that they have 1 million plus members now of Turning Point. She also said that there are 3,082 Club America chapters of Turning Point, which I'm assuming those are the high school chapters. And then they have 1,032 on college campuses, chapters on college campuses, and they are adding 50 chapters per day. Okay, so we all know that MAGA and Republicans and the people in the administration, they love to fudge numbers. So I'm not going to say take this with a grain of salt. Maybe these numbers might not be as high as she is professing or was professing from that stage. However, I wouldn't underestimate them, is what I'm trying to say. So what they're trying to do is get on the ground level to indoctrinate your children. And they want to start with the high schools, and then they want to build and have these chapters on college and university campuses as well. So the indoctrination, so everything that you heard, all the vile, misogynistic, racist, xenophobic, all of the egregious statements that you heard come out of Charlie Kirk's mouth, that is what they want to indoctrinate your children into. And then overall white Christian nationalism. Okay, right, white Christian nationalism. So here's what I have to say about that. The rest of us and all you parents out there that don't want this shit on your child's campus, we have to be just as tenacious and behave as doggedly as the Moms for Liberty and all those other organizations that went and took over school board meetings, and also they infiltrated school boards and took over. Some of those we've seen some of those seats be them lose some of those seats here recently with these last elections. But we have to be as dogged and as tenacious as those Moms of Liberty when they were out there trying to get books banned and words banned and all this sorts of things. We have to be the same in regards to this takeover by Turning Point. Because if they get in, they will have all access to your young people, to your children. They're already breaking down the Department of Education. They are already in states, and I'm just going to focus on Texas because that's where I grew up. So in Texas, they've already gone to switching over to the voucher system. They are already the Governor Hot Wheels or Governor Abbott. He has already signed a declaration to open these high school campuses to Turning Point. And then I'm quite sure they're on college campuses as well already. So these are the numbers that she was saying from that stage. Again, I would caution you to not get really freaked out by the high 1 million plus. I don't necessarily subscribe to that number, or would I readily believe that number, because these people, this administration, Republicans, MAGA, et cetera, that's what I'm talking about when I say these people, they fudge the numbers all the time. They tell you a bunch of lofty bullshit just to try to make you buy into it and believe it, gaslighting you all the time. But don't underestimate them as well. Don't underestimate them as well. And right now, I would say parents, if you're on the ground and you have a child right now in K through 12, or you have a young person that's getting ready to go to college, I would say fight this tooth and nail. These chapters from infiltrating your child's campus, come together, band together, and fight this, because indoctrination is the key. They want to make sure that they grow their youth vote exponentially, and they want to make sure that young people are indoctrinated into white Christian nationalism. That is the goal. And they're screaming it from the rooftops. She's saying it from a stage, from a podium. You don't even have to go online and look for a manual anymore. They are telling you what they are going to do, what is in the works, and we need to get in front of it. We need to stop being reactive to everything. We need to be proactive. So when you hear them saying these things, believe them the first time and get active. Okay?